Hello everyone, welcome to the Undercut. Today we're going to be talking about Red Bull Racing and their little situation going into 2025. They have been the biggest topic of conversation in the last year or so, not just with drivers, but with inter-team changes, you know, the Christian Horner allegations, Adrian Newey and everything. But today we're going to be focusing on the new revelation, which of course is Iwasa and Yuki Tsunoda. Would you like to tell us what's going on?
Yes, so obviously Yuki Tsunoda has been confirmed as the reserve driver for Red Bull in 2025, which does mean if anything is to happen, illness, or if there is a crash that puts them out of races like it happened to Daniel Ricciardo, to Max Verstappen or Liam Lawson, Yuki will be promoted to the Red Bull.
That's tasty.
Yes, and likewise, Iwasa is the RB reserve driver. So if anything was to happen to Yuki or Hadjar, Iwasa goes into that team for however many races he is needed.
Iwasa, of course, was a front runner for that seat a few years ago. Recently competed in Super Formula. And never really got the call up before Isaac Hadjar or you know, other drivers.
I heard apparently it was 2019. Pierre Gasly was on that bad run of form at AlphaTauri at the time as well as the Red Bull, and I think Helmut Marko wanted to get rid of him for Iwasa.
Yeah, there was at one point in time where Iwasa was looking like a serious contender for the at the time AlphaTauri seat.
Yes.
It's an interesting one with Iwasa. He's kind of been put in that I guess could you say Jack Doohan, Nick De Vries kind of like sort of place where
maybe even a Drugovich.
The Drugovich place where they kind of progressed at the wrong time. Like the rookies coming through now progressed at the right time. Hadjar, Bortoletto, Behrman, Antonelli have all come into the sport when there are vacancies. Iwasa, well, we had Pierre Gasly at the time. Daniel Ricciardo had just left Red Bull. Max Verstappen is sort of the golden boy. They had... Who else did they have in the pipeline? They had Kvyat in the pipeline. Albon, Pierre Gasly. Iwasa had no chance. Right, so... It's one of them situations for Iwasa, and now he's getting his chance as the reserve driver. Will he get a chance at a seat if one of them drops out? Who knows?
Well, yeah, I mean, is he there in case Hadjar's kind of, again, an unknown sort of substance. He could end up like Nick De Vries very easily. So we could see Iwasa come in as early as Nick De Vries got dropped. Iwasa could come in pretty early, potentially. Who knows? We know what Red Bull are like.
Yeah, we do.
But the interesting one for me is Yuki Tsunoda.
Yeah.
Red Bull reserve driver. Now, is that just keeping him there? Obviously, the reserve driver, he will be doing Red Bull simulators as well.
Yeah.
So he'll know the team. He will have the feel for the team there. And is that just keeping him on the fringe, ready if Red Bull are just making sure if they've made the wrong choice in Liam, Yuki's there ready to go straight away?
Well, they did this before. They've done this countless times in the past. They famously recently did it with Daniel Ricciardo. Obviously, that didn't work out, but that was the position Ricciardo played in contrast to Sergio Perez. And in the event anything happened to Max Verstappen, Daniel Ricciardo was there. It obviously also did happen with Max Verstappen, bringing him in to replace Daniel Kvyat. Red Bull are famous for doing it. We think of the Gasly Albon switch. It's happened. Red Bull do this. Yuki will be waiting, knowing that opportunity could come up.
Yeah.
And now that he's been put as the reserve driver for Red Bull, I think that makes it all the more clear, at least to me, that Red Bull will be looking at Yuki if Liam doesn't perform.
Yes, I mean, this has to add pressure to Liam, really, as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, knowing that someone's there, he's ready to take your seat. He's got experience in Formula One as well. He's rapid. He got beat in the races that they were together by this person. He's ready to take his seat, and Liam is now under severe pressure of if he doesn't perform and if he does a Checo, he's gone.
Yeah, and it's also very similar to the Colapinto situation at Alpine with Franco, with Jack Doohan, because Jack Doohan, obviously, there's been reports that he's going to get replaced by Colapinto, who has been signed by Alpine as their reserve driver. That just puts pressure onto Jack Doohan, knowing that there is someone there potentially willing to take your seat. Yuki is that for Liam, what Colapinto is that for Doohan. So it is all lined up.
It's going to be yet another interesting season for Red Bull. I think it's one to keep an eye on, and keep an eye on Liam.
It is, and it doesn't just end there. This is just a little bit of a bonus point that I want to add on to the end of this Red Bull discussion. There are now reports that Max Verstappen is going to sign for Aston Martin for a deal that's worth apparently over £1 billion.
Yes.
Which is ridiculous. There's not a lot of substance to that yet. It's still
I'm
a
not
rumor.
sure how that would work with, obviously, the finances.
Yeah.
And obviously you got a cost cap. That does take in wages and expenditures.
It'd be a long contract.
I'm not sure. Yeah, and Max Verstappen has already expressed he doesn't want to be in Formula One for a long time.
Oh, if you're Max Verstappen, you can retire whenever the hell you want.
Yeah, so I don't see Max signing a long contract.
No, I think the finances could be long contract, but there'll be a clause saying if Max wants to retire, he can.
Yeah, potentially. From what I've seen with that, there could be a straight swap there as well.
Yeah, for Fernando.
With Fernando Alonso.
I think that's more entering cuckoo land, but I have seen similar reports, and it's... I mean, maybe...
It's something to watch again, isn't it?
Red Bull's like the only team Fernando hasn't driven for.
Yeah.
One of the only teams.
Well, so... Cadillac, when they come in.
Oh, well, yeah, you never know. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? And if that obviously stirs up this season, as we saw, Lewis Hamilton, the biggest transfer for this season, happened even before we had lights out in Bahrain last season.
Yeah, so... It happened on the 1st of February 2024.
Which is the recording date of this video.
Correct.
So Max could happen at any point during the season. And if that does happen, does that spice things up? Does Yuki then go straight into Red Bull to replace Max? Is it Yuki and Liam at Red Bull? If it happens,
who knows?
Like, do Red Bull then go to an experienced driver? You know, do they go for like... Imagine, I don't know. Do you sign like Oscar Piastri or something if him and Norris fall out? Do you sign George Russell? Just sign Valtteri Bottas.
Bottas, get Bottas in that team.
Do you beg Daniel Ricciardo to come back?
No, I think Daniel's pissed off at them by this point.
Yeah, he is. But I don't know. What do you do? Like,
hey, we'll cross that bridge if it comes.
Do you sign Carlos Sainz? I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. So either way. It's one of them. Yeah, that's pretty much it for Red Bull. A lot of things going into the season, a lot to be excited about. So stay tuned for more updates. We'll be reporting on all of them, and we'll see you in the next one.